been diagnosed with diabetes?
Do you wake up in the morning and you're tired?
Do you snore?
Do you get up in the middle of the night?
To use the restroom?
Men, is your neck larger than 17 inches?
Ladies, is your neck larger than 17 inches?
Men, you may have sleep apnea.
We do.
Tune in.
I'm Sue.
And I'm Steve.
And we're aging joyfully. Today we're going to talk about how we manage our sleep apnea and how we went from being pre-diabetic 3 months ago to being normal today. By controlling our sleep, our diet, and our exercise, we were able to change from being diagnosed with pre-diabetes to being normal. It's not easy, it's a daily challenge, and anytime we could go back into being pre-diabetic, but we're working our hardest and we want to share what we do to get a good night's sleep.
Good night's sleep is important to your health and your well-being.
It affects everything from conditions such as osteoporosis, anxiety and depression, common illnesses like the cold, the flu, strep throat. I've suffered from all these things from not getting a good night's sleep.
Sleep can be improved with the help of a CPAP machine. That's what Sue and I use to get a good night's sleep.
Yes, 5 years ago, I was not feeling well at all. So I went from doctor to doctor for a whole summer to finally get diagnosed at the end of the summer with sleep apnea. I was shocked, just as I was shocked to learn I was pre-diabetic. I was shocked to learn that I had sleep apnea. I had no idea. I did not have the typical symptoms of sleep apnea, whereas Steve did have the typical symptoms.
I knew I had sleep apnea. There was a couple signs that everyone, I think, hears about, and that is loud snoring. That was horrendous. Loud snoring, which enables you or does not enable you to get a good night's sleep. So loud snoring does not enable you to get a good night's sleep. Then feeling very tired when you wake up. You could be in bed with your eyes closed for 8 hours, 9 hours, but when you wake up, you feel tired. That's another sign. Falling asleep after eating was a sign. In the afternoon, just falling asleep. That you shouldn't fall asleep if you get a good night's sleep. And that's very, very critical. Feeling like you have no energy whatsoever. And that's also another sign.
My symptoms were a little more unusual. Because you stop breathing so many times through the night, you're getting a lack of oxygen to your brain. So my symptoms were more dizziness. I was extremely dizzy and I was having a cognitive decline. It was harder to think because I wasn't getting that oxygen to my brain. But I overall felt sick and I didn't know what was wrong. We are now going to show you our CPAPs that we've had for 5 years. I'm going to show you mine and Steve's going to tell you how we make sure, just because you're in bed for 8 or whatever hours, 7, 6, 7, 8 hours a night, that doesn't mean you're getting a good night's sleep. The machine actually only tells you how much you've been in bed. It doesn't tell you how much you've been asleep. So if you lay in bed for hours, if you have anxieties, wake up in the middle of the night, it will tell you you were sleeping when you really weren't. So when I went for my yearly checkups, the doctors always said, "Are you sleeping 8 hours a night?" And I said, "Yes." Well, I was, in fact, in bed 8 hours, but I was not getting 8 hours of sleep. Let's look at a typical CPAP. This is one of the popular models that many people use. It is a ResMed 10. Okay, we've had this one for less than 3 years. Steve's going to go through, when you go to bed at night, once you put your mask on, you can do a mask check. Once you've done it for years, you don't necessarily have to do it every night.
So on a CPAP machine, there's a screen and there's 2 sections. One of it is for options, and options is what you go into to see if you have a good mask fit. It's also where you go to see how well you slept the night before. So on the CPAP machine, when you turn it on, the screen lights up and you want to go to My Options. There's 2 sections. My Options is where you want to select and go to mask settings or mask, and then click on that and you're going to go to set it up for whatever mask you're using. This is a nasal mask that Sue is using, so we've set it up for a nasal mask, and then you push in the button, and what's going to happen is air is going to come out and blow into your face, and it's going to test your mask to find leakage. And if there's leakage, then you'll get an unhappy face, and you need to just adjust it on your face until you get a green happy face.
Okay, so you put your mask on, run a mask fit. That's the first thing. But again, you've had this for years like us. We don't necessarily do this on a nightly basis, but when you're a new user, that's really critical. Then every morning, you want to check to see if you've had a good night's sleep.
You're going to go to Sleep Report, which is the bottom section. Remember, there's two sections. The top is My Options. The bottom is Sleep Report. And when you push the button for Sleep Report, you're going to see a smiley green face or a red frowning face. And it also tells you how many incidences you had that night. So for Sue from last night, it looks like she had 0.3 episodes an hour, and she has a happy face.
That is extremely low. I've gotten to the point with changing diet and exercise to where I may no longer need this machine. In the next few months, Steve and I will have a second sleep study. You should do one every 5 years, and I may be able to graduate from my machine. That is because I've lost weight by diet and exercise. But if you don't sleep right, even if you change your diet and exercise, I don't know that you're going to lose a lot of weight. It took years to lose weight. It was, until we could get our sleep under control, it was very challenging to lose any weight.
So the sleep part of it was the first part of losing weight, was getting that under control.
Until we got the CPAPs, we could not lose weight. We were at our maximum weights. Well, at least I was 5 years ago. When I got the CPAP, I was at my maximum weight. And then once I got it, I did start to lose, but I did have to start changing diet and exercise in addition to that. They all go hand in hand. Diet, exercise, sleep, diabetes, sleep apnea, all these things are related. And again, we are not medical providers, healthcare providers. You do need to talk to your healthcare provider before you make any changes, any lifestyle changes. But if you think that you are struggling from sleep apnea or sleep problems, this could be a thing you may want to ask your doctor to order a sleep study, or you could actually go online and find a sleep study for about $170, $190. Do you remember the site?
I think it's one of the CPAP provider sites. So it could be cpap.com or shopcpap.com.
So you could search it, at-home sleep study tests, and if you don't have insurance or your doctor refuses to order a test for whatever reason, you can get your own for about $170 to $190. We're not sure about that. You need to research that on your own. There is some connection between diabetes and sleep apnea, and we don't know what it is. And again, you could ask your doctor. We were surprised since we had sleep apnea that our doctor had not given us the A1C test that would show if we were pre-diabetic or diabetic, considering we had sleep apnea. We're at a high risk. In addition to with sleep apnea, you have the risk of heart problems. You have the risk of acid reflux. Mm-hmm. That is why we bought the bed we bought. And in addition to using a CPAP, we've made many other changes to our sleep. People who don't have sleep apnea struggle to sleep. One of the biggest things is Steve encouraged me to take off my smartwatch and my phone and take it out of the bedroom, because I was waking up about 2 o'clock every morning and I realized there was something making a beeping sound on my phone about that time, and I thought I woke up to go to the restroom. Once you wake up, you realize that you do have urine in your bladder and you can use the restroom. But it was my phone that was waking me up. So I removed that from the bedroom. Steve, what else did we do?
Well, that was one of the big things. And also make the room totally dark. That was another big part of it. Having a totally dark room really enables a good night's sleep. We moved downstairs. To make the room totally dark, you can find out in our video of us moving our bedroom downstairs.
Yes, we made a nice video about moving our split king bed downstairs. That's an adjustable bed that we got because of the risk of acid reflux with sleep apnea. So we moved our bed downstairs to a much smaller room, which made it a cozy feeling. We painted the room a nice soothing green. It's a smaller room, and we put up blackout drapes. So that video clearly defines the things that we did. In addition to moving our phone and watches out of the bedroom,
That's important. Don't have your phone, or if you have a smartwatch, in the bedroom with you. You'd be surprised how many times your phone goes off for notifications that really can wait until morning.
Also, I've seen on other YouTube videos or through books that you should get outside once a day. You should get some sunlight. That helps set your natural body rhythm and helps you sleep.
Yes, it sure does. It's also good vitamin D too, which helps with your mood.
And the diet and exercise again. Not eating too late where you might have reflux. A big thing that I did that many people are unwilling to do is I gave up alcohol and drinking.
Yep, that's a big contributor to a poor night's sleep. You may fall asleep easy, but you don't stay asleep, and it's not a deep, restful sleep.
If you have sleep apnea, it weakens your muscles and may contribute to making it worse. That, along with some medication, may also contribute to making it worse. Now, if you are on any medication, you need to talk to your doctor about any reduction or stoppage, like we did with our blood pressure and cholesterol pills. We stopped those, but you do need to talk to your healthcare provider. But these are things you could look up yourself. If you're having a bad night's sleep, and we know that a lot of people are struggling with sleep, I would recommend, if it's possible, to get tested for sleep apnea, especially if you're older like us. Your muscles weaken with age, so you may be more likely. If you're overweight, if your neck is that big, and you have those other symptoms we talked about, getting tested would be a first good step.
Absolutely, and it's worth it. Once you start using a CPAP machine, give it about a week or so, and you will feel the difference. And you'll realize that, wow, I haven't been sleeping, because you feel so well rested when you wake up and have so much more energy throughout the day.
These machines are programmed for different levels. I am moderate, and Steve is severe. So our machines are programmed at a different level. So that's why you do have to get your own unique prescription to get the machine. You cannot just order one on Amazon. You have to have a prescription to order a machine online.
Yes, that's true. Because so what happens is that when you're wearing the CPAP machine and you stop breathing, then the CPAP machine forces air into your lungs. And so it needs to know at what pressure it is forcing that air in. And everyone is different, as Sue was saying. And so I have a very severe sleep apnea problem. And so the machine is pretty much at its maximum pressure, so that when I stop breathing, it's forcing air into my lungs and forcing me to breathe.
Remember, you deserve to age joyfully. Take care of yourself. Get a good night's sleep.
Yes, it's important.
Until we see you again.
Take it easy.